Oh man, the junior middleweight division is heating up, man. You got some fresh new, like young fighters, some undefeated, that are really, really good. You guys remember I was thinking of this the other day. Remember when, like a couple years ago, when the division was just weak, where you had obviously Canelo was the popular guy, and then a lot of people felt that he was unproven, right? And Canelo was the most popular, but he was unproven. He didn't really fight. This is like before he fought Trout, and Floyd and stuff. So at that time, you had guys like Ishe Smith was champion, K9, Carlos Molina, James Kirkland was still more relevant at the time. It was just like that's how it was at that time. Cotto was, he wasn't the guy that he was at 147. This is back when, even when he fought Yuri Foreman and all those guys. Back then the division was kind of weak. And now you got all these new guys cleaning up all the guys from the past. I can't. I was watching a fight with Jamal Charlo and K9. God damn. Like, it's rare to see a champion get completely obliterated like that. Like, when you hold a title and you defending your title and you're calling out Floyd and getting shot, you might get a shot with Tim Bradley. And then for this young kid that a lot of people don't know, a lot of people don't really know the Charlo twins like that. I did a video with Jamel on here, and I've been talking about them for a while, but a lot of people don't really know them like that, And for him to go in there and beat the living hell out of K9 like that, a vet, a very strong fighter at that, it was crazy, And then I was watching J-Rock, Julian Williams, I forgot who the guy named before, Quelo. But he went in there, had this guy doing the chicken dance, the Zab Judah noodle legs dance in there. That was crazy too. I saw Vanis Monterosa and Ishe Smith. I didn't watch the fight. I've been trying to find, I forgot to DVR it. I wasn't home, forgot to DVR it. And I cannot find that fight anywhere. So if you guys have a link, please leave it in the comments, man. Or send me a private message or something, or email me. I've been looking online. I think about a week ago I was looking online everywhere for that fight. But yeah, you got these these young, mid-20s fighters that's dominating the junior middleweight division now at 154. And Mayweather's retiring now, so he could give up like 2 of those belts. I think he had the WBA and the WBC belt, I believe. Demetrius Andrade, I don't know what's up with that situation. I know that they were taking his title away from him, but I believe he's scheduled for a match. All right, so we could get to see him back in the ring now. And Jamal is the IBF champ. So let's run down everybody. All right. Looks like Austin Trout and Julian J. Rock Williams is going to fight each other, which is good, which should be good. That should be a good fight. I'm going with J. Rock in that one, though. J. Rock is up there with the rest of them, man. Him, the Charlo twins, Demetrius Andrade, those guys are at the top of the division right now. Lara, you still got Lara. So Austin Trout and J. Rock should be fighting. Let's see, who else we got? We got the Charlo twins. I believe Jamel Charlo, the more technical, less powerful twin. He's scheduled with a fight. I forgot with who. He's scheduled is coming up. Not a big fight, but he's still waiting on his big title shot. I know the fight was with Demetrius Andrade was supposed to happen, but everything happened with Andrade, and Andrade turned down the fight. So that fight didn't happen. So he's still waiting on his shot, but he's fought more better fighters than his brother did. Jamal, his fight with K9 was his best fight up to that point. He really didn't fight anyone before that fight. The other Charlo at least fought Monterosian. He had fought Gabe Rosado too. Okay, he had a good win against Gabe Rosado. You know, he fought Demetrius Hopkins back in the day. So you know, he fought some good fighters. But now we have Jamal. He has a chance. He has a belt. Don't know what's up with the WBO. But yeah, some of these fights got to get made. Now the thing with 154, Canelo is most likely not going to keep fighting at 154 because he's been fighting at 155 the last few fights. And he will be fighting the same at that weight against Cotto. And most likely, if win or lose, if he wins, he's probably going to have to fight Golovkin at 160. Okay, if he loses to Cotto, he's probably going to still hang around at that catch weight because, you know, I don't think he really cares for winning a title at 154 at this point. I mean, he hasn't really tried. He's been fighting over the weight limit. So I don't know what Canelo's going to do. You know, Canelo's still like the top dog up there, you know, even though I thought Lara won the fight. You know, I don't think Lara did as good as I expected him to do in that fight. And then there goes Lara. Lara has a fight scheduled too, but they didn't pick an opponent yet. Okay, he's fighting on the PBC coming up, and I believe in November, and they still didn't find an opponent for him. But he's not going to fight the Charlo twins because even though I think he left camp with them, he still won't fight them. You know, those guys are cool with each other. I don't think they'll ever fight. But the Demetrius Andre fight should happen. You know, the Lara, Demetrius Andre, those are the two fighters that haven't fought. That's like the only fighter that Lara hasn't fought at this point. You know, Lara pretty much fought everybody in the division, you know, and he might as well just keep staying busy until he gets that fight because outside of Andre, J-Rock, maybe he should do the rematch with Vanes Martirosyan, you know, because that fight, you know, that fight ended in a draw because of a cut, and they stopped the fight early. So there's other guys out there too. You got that Willie Nelson's still around. You know, he beat Harrison recently, undefeated. He beat him recently, and you also got that Michelle Sorrell guy that beat Glenn Tapia too. Okay, and then you got James Kirkland. I don't know what's up with his legal situation with 50 Cent, but James Kirkland is still out there. You know, you see Margarito might be coming back. That should be good. You know, I don't think he should fight one of the top guys on his first fight back, but you know, maybe a couple of fights in, maybe he could get a fight with one of these top guys. I'm trying to think who else is at 154. Glenn Tapia, I don't know what's up with him. I know he lost another. Yeah, he might be pretty much washed up because he keeps getting stopped. But yeah, I don't know who else is out there, but there's a lot of fights to be made. But I'm really interested to see what Demetrius Andrade is gonna do because he didn't fight nobody except Vanes Martirosyan. You know, outside of that fight. He hasn't fought Lara. He hasn't fought either of the Charlo twins. He didn't fight J-Rock. You know, he didn't fight Canelo, Kirkland. He didn't fight no one at 154. You know, not really anybody good. He beat that Brian Rose kid, but, you know, Brian Rose didn't really fight anyone before that. So, and then Brian Rose lost right after that fight. So, you know, I'm pretty, the division is good. You got a lot of fresh young blood in there, you know, a lot of undefeated guys, you know, and even the guys that lost recently, you know, they're still top, you know, they're still top fighters, you know, Lara losing and, you know, Canelo losing to Floyd, these are still top guys, so you got a lot of young guys in there, but the fights need to be made, man, and, you know, I don't know what's going to go on with J-Rock. I expect J-Rock to, if he beats Trout, you know, I expect Trout or the winner of Trout and J-Rock to fight one of the Charlo twins. You know, they're all Al Heyman fighters, and I expect them to fight each other after whoever wins that fight. But I think Lara, in the meantime, I don't know, he's probably gonna have to fight another easier fight. Maybe if they could get Willie Nelson or that Michelle Sorrell guy, maybe they could get him to get in the ring with Lara in his date in November. And, you know, maybe Lara could hopefully fight Demetrius Andrade soon because, you know, they got history. They fought in the Olympics and Lara beat him there. But, you know, Andrade was a lot younger at that time. But I would love the rematch with Lara and Monterosian, okay? Who else? Who else? There's plenty of fights to be made, man. I'm just waiting to see what happened. All the fighters, all the talent is there. And I'm glad that Floyd is finally giving up the belts because he was holding on to the belts and he wasn't fighting anyone at 154. He fought Canelo there at a catchweight. So outside of that, he was just pretty much holding on to the titles and defending the titles against welterweights, and winning the fight. So the titles were just sitting there, and then you had all that mess with when Carlos Molina was holding the title. The junior middleweight, and I made videos on this, the junior middleweight division was a mess, man. Carlos Molina, he was holding on to the title for a long time. He beat Ishii Smith, and then he got caught up. He got arrested or something when he was supposed to fight Charlo. And then he finally got back in the ring with K9, and K9 held the title, and he was holding it for a long time. So the belt, the titles, it was a mess. The only active, there really was no active titles. The IBF was being held. The WBO was being held by Andrade. He wasn't fighting. The WBA and WBC was being held by Floyd. So hopefully we get some new champions. Hopefully we could get unification matches and undisputed title soon. Because it's been a long time. And this division is finally getting back together. I just hope these guys don't continue and sit around and wait for Cotto and Canelo, because they're not going to get in the ring with those two guys. These guys, all these young fighters I just named, they're not going to get a fight with Canelo. They're not going to get a fight with Cotto, because those two guys can do whatever they want. They're pay-per-view fighters, and, for now, they're fighting over the 154-pound weight limit, So let me know what you guys think. Bring up some fights you want to see at 154. The top fights I want to definitely see is the J-Rock fight with Austin Trout. I want to see that fight. I want to see Andrade, and I want to see Lara go at it. I still want to see that fight. Or Andrade, I want to see Andrade fight anyone that's good, man, at this point. Anyone, any of those top fighters, Vanes Monterosian is another guy that's hanging out there. Throw him in the ring with anyone that he didn't fight yet. That'll be cool with me. That's it. That's my thoughts on it. If anyone I left out, bring them up in the comments and give me some fights. And if you guys have a link, if you guys could find a link to that Ishii Smith, Vanes Monterosian fight, I appreciate it. Please leave that in the comments, all right? I'll see y'all on the next one.